surface we'll be two friendly classmates, but in reality, we'll actually be investigating each other. This is interesting, Ryuga. If it's my friendship you want, I'll gladly accept it. In time, I'll earn your trust. And once you've told me what I want to know, there'll be no point keeping you alive. Then I'll kill you.
Law 14. Work as a friend, pose as a spy. Knowing about your rival is critical. Use spies to gather valuable information that will keep you a step ahead. Better still, play the spy yourself. In polite social encounters, learn to probe. Ask indirect questions to get people to reveal their weaknesses and intentions. There is no occasion that is not an opportunity for artful spying. Gathering intelligence is crucial in competition. If you don't have any clue on what the competitors are doing, you can never catch up. Both Light and L from Death Note use this law throughout the series. For many reasons. 1. To get ahead of the competition. 2. To know what the other is planning. And 3. To understand who they are dealing with better. Light wants L killed, and L wants Light arrested. This is part 1 of the video. You can watch both parts in any order you like. 1. Using hypotheticals. Pose hypothetical situations to the person and ask for their response or opinion. This is the realm of L.
It seems unusual that no one bothered to explain this video to me. It's not like them. Well, in any case, I'd be stupid to comment on it. It's probably best if I say nothing. If I just leave it alone, L dies.
So, what do you make of this, Light? Have you come to any conclusions?
Damn, it's a test.
After the first media reveal of the Kira tape, L suspected that this is not the real Kira, but just a copycat. He referred to him or her as the second Kira, which ended up being a Manimisa later on. L sent for Light Yagami and started asking him questions and exploring hypotheticals to get his brain on the case and know more about him and how he thinks. Light Yagami ended up affirming L's suspicions that there is a possibility of two Kiras being out there. So, place the person in a hypothetical to make them share their real outtakes. The best hypotheticals are third-person hypotheticals, when they have to pretend to be in the shoes of someone else. FBI investigators use this method to get a lot of information from serial killer Ted Bundy. They didn't say, "Ted, what did you do to get rid of the person?" But instead, they said, "How do you think that this killer got rid of the body?" This act of distancing creates a relief. L used this another time with Light when he handed him the pictures in the coffee shop. I mentioned this as a challenge tactic in my other video on L, but I didn't talk about it in the aspect of a hypothetical. Remember, spies like to make things fun. To get the other person to engage, simply entertain them. Make things fun and you won't need to probe them for answers. 2. Gain access to their environment by offering them help. Our friends make life easier by making it more interesting, or by helping us through difficult times. It's a very simple thing to do. If you want to get closer to someone, find a way to add value to their life. Being of service is a love language after all. Yagami Light wants to learn more about the investigation, and he decides to use the position of his father as a source of credibility, his reputation as a top student as a sign for devotion to hard work, his future intention for a career in the police force as a sign of mere curiosity and desire for the experience, and his willingness to help as a desire to clear his name. L accepts because he himself wants to keep his potential suspect close, so it works both ways. As they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. By helping someone, you have a natural excuse to be around them. Then you use that time with them to build rapport, trust, and finally a strong bond. With that bond, you won't need an excuse anymore. You are in. Light and L both play tennis as a form of fake bonding, since they both enjoy it as a sport. You accelerate these bonds by capitalizing on mutual interests, similar goals, and competitive games. Both are fine with the theatrics as they study each other. The next two methods work more if the person is competitive. 3. Contradict them to trigger their passion and get them to reveal more. We all have views that are important to us. We like to think we are right about the world and how people function. When challenged about a point, we quickly show up for a fight for our ideas and views, because our ideas are an extension of ourselves. So, one way to get real data is to make the person fight for his opinions. Do it in a harmless way, so they don't dislike you. You can contradict something they said or criticize an idol they respect to ignite the passion. As soon as they fight back and give you something solid to work with, admit your defeat and thank them for changing your opinion. When we are challenged, we are more likely to become emotional, make a mistake, and say something we shouldn't. Number 4. Give them false information so they correct it. Intentionally make a mistake to prove if someone is competitive or cooperative in nature. The competitive will seek to correct your mistake, maybe out of spite, or to earn your respect and adoration. The reason doesn't really matter as long as you get something useful out of it. I remember doing this and getting caught once. The brother of a woman who was an acquaintance of mine got married. We talked about how he might live abroad with his new wife. A few days later, in the middle of the conversation, I asked her, "Your brother's going to move to Spain, right?" And she said, "You're giving me the wrong info to get the right info, aren't you?" I left it off, but I got caught. She didn't guess right because she had knowledge of elicitation techniques, but because my setup was unnatural. This is why it's key to move from the macro idea to the micro details, and back to the macro again. To make the transition smooth, don't bring up the topic details immediately. Posing as a spy is a powerful law. Sun Tzu himself wrote an entire chapter on it, chapter 13 in The Art of War. Remember, Sun Tzu said, "If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle." Watch part 2 of this video where I'll share extra points to apply to make this law work for you. Or in the meantime, you can learn more about Light Yagami's sneaky ways right in this video over here. I'll see you there.